So, wo waren wir? Genau, wir sind hier angekommen, nachdem es ein Erdbeben gegeben hat und Iris ist hierhin gerannt. Als wir das letzte Mal hier waren, war hier nur ein Schloss, jetzt sind ja auf einmal 5. Gut, dann gucken wir mal. February 9, Inner Temple Training Hall. Oh, das ist jetzt aber doch ziemlich laut. Ich muss mal eben runterdrehen, sonst hört ihr das gleich wirklich noch. Okay. Right, is this what Godot was talking about? Yeah, the trick locks. Now then, Iris, please remove these at once. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm afraid I can't. What do you mean you can't? It's not possible for me. Die verdammte Katze will jetzt schon wieder raus. Ich hab's geahnt. Moment. Jetzt die Kopfhörer. Da. Erbrochenes an der Wand. Ja, das ist ja Gravy war das, ne? Jetzt erstmal die Katze aus dem Sack gelassen, genau. So. It's not possible for me. What? What do you mean it's not possible for you? During the earthquake, when the cavern was in danger of caving in, Iris escaped. And I know that there was only one lock when I last came here. So you're saying that you can't undo the new locks? Yes. If only I was stronger. Edgeworth, how are you feeling? You look a little pale in the face. Like you'll want to talk with your face all green. Miles Edgeworth, go and get some air. I'll watch over the suspect. You go and get a grip on yourself. Don't be ridiculous. I'm perfectly good. There's no telling what sort of mistakes you could make in your current state. Go and get some rest. That's your only concern now, Miles Edgeworth. Understood. I'll handle the investigation in the garden. You take care of things here. Edgeworth. He's got so much pride that he's probably off crying in the corner of the garden. Pride is simply another trap that hinders us in our lives. That said, one must have pride to be effective on the job. Ich wollte gerade sagen, bist du nicht ganz schön stolz? At any rate, it seems that this is where we part ways, Phoenix Wright. I'm going to stay here and see if I can't help solve these bothersome puzzles. I see. Well, thanks for your help. Now then, do you mind if I ask you a few things, Iris? No, not at all. Mitleid erregen, genau. Okay, escape. Why did you make a run for it, Iris? I'm sorry. I heard the inner temple had been severely shaken by the strong earthquake we had. I was so worried I just had to come and see. In other words, you didn't run away to escape the law. At least we're clear on that. I can't tell you how relieved I was when I saw the sacred cavern was alright, but... But what? Then I saw these chains here. I saw all these extra locks that someone had put on the sacred cavern's door and... Who in the world would do something like this?
Trick lock.
These trick locks are a sacred treasure of the Kudain tradition. There are hundreds of ways to set them. That's why only the person who set the lock can open it. And you aren't the one who set these locks?
I don't think it's that simple, Franziska von Karma.
When we were here the first time, there was only one lock. But now, somehow, there's 5 of them. What does that mean?
Also warst du das gar nicht? Ich meine, der Cliffhanger letztes Mal hat es ja fast so dargestellt, als ob sie es gewesen wäre.
It means that someone wanted to secure the place even more. And they wanted to secure it before you got here, Iris. Presumably because they wanted to make sure Maya couldn't get out. This means that Iris can only open one of these locks, the first one. Yes, that's correct.
Ja, stimmt, das erste hat sie ja dahin gemacht. Das war ja wegen dem Training.
What?
Iris, try to think, please.
Isn't there any way around this? Well, like I said, there are hundreds of different ways to set these locks. I suppose if I went through every combination with each one, I could remove them. But it will take time, won't it? Yes, about a day if I had to guess.
A whole day?
Well, that's better than leaving the locks in place. Will you do this for us? Sure, I'll do whatever I can.
We've got to wait another day.
Hang in there, Maya. You're going to have to call on your inner strength now.
The night of the crime.
You know what, Iris? There's still one thing I don't quite get. And what might that be, Phoenix, right? I think it's obvious. Iris, on the night of the murder, where were you? Please, Iris, don't give me that look. You told us that you were in your room at Hazakura Temple at the time of the incident, but you were seen that same evening at the inner temple. And then, you were spotted at the scene of the crime in Hazakura Temple too. Being spotted at both Hazakura Temple and the inner temple. It's as if you were... Well, Iris, I think it's about time you told us the truth. I knew it. There's something going on here that we don't know about. Well, can we break it? I think it's time you told the truth about what you were doing on that night. You said you were in your room at Hazakura Temple the entire time. Do you still claim that to be the truth? Yes, that's where I was. Iris, I believe you're innocent. That's why I want to believe what you're telling me too, but I can't. Because this person saw you somewhere else on the night of the murder. Das war doch Schwester Bikini, oder? Okay. I'm talking about Sister Bikini, of course. Sister Bikini. Her testimony in court today was very clear. At night, I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple. Sister Bikini didn't just see you, she spoke with you. You two talked about Maya's training that night. So you see, Iris, you were there at the inner temple on the night of the murder. That's very impressive, Mr. Wright. I wasn't really that impressive, I just told you what Sister Bikini told me. The acolyte's actual training was due to start after 10 o'clock that night. I left the main hall early so I wouldn't be late. What time was that? Let me see. It takes about 20 minutes to walk between the main hall and the inner temple, so I would have left at about 9:40 p.m. I think. I'm sorry, Iris, but lying just doesn't suit you. Huh? No, you say you left the main hall at 9:40, but what you say doesn't add up with this. Oh Gott, jetzt ist es 2 Wochen her, dass ich das alles... Ich muss mir erstmal alles wieder angucken hier. Okay. Iris's Hood. Regional Weather Report. Oh. Iris rang the lights out bell at 10 p.m. und was then in her room until the murder was discovered. Das ist allerdings ihre eigene Aussage, ist jetzt halt die Frage, wie wahr das ist, ne? Aber sagen wir das mal. Okay. You yourself testified to the contrary, don't you remember? You said you rang the lights out bell at 10 o'clock that night. Plus, only moments before you rang that bell, you were seen at the main hall by the most reliable witness I have. Who's that? Me. Mr. Wright. We even spoke a little that evening. That's when you gave me this. Surely you haven't forgotten. No, that's right. I remember. And that brings us to another puzzling fact, Iris. At 10 o'clock on the night of the murder, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time. It's time you told me exactly what's been going on, Iris. So far, I've managed to prove 2 things. First, on the night of the incident, you were at the inner temple. And second, at the exact same time, you were ringing the bell at Hazakura Temple. There's only one possible explanation for this apparent impossibility. There are 2 of you. On the night of the incident, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time, which means there must have been 2 of you. I can't think of any other explanation, Iris. But that's crazy. How could that be? There's only one of me. It's impossible. Impossible? I wonder. The way you're trembling certainly seems to suggest otherwise. You're seriously trying to suggest there's more than one of me? Then show me the evidence. Show me something that proves there's more than one of me. How? Okay, gehen wir mal alles durch. Also meine Anwaltsmarke wird es ja wohl ganz bestimmt nicht sein. Magatama auch nicht. Das ist ein Magazin, da sieht meine Schwester Bikini und Iris. Das ist die Tabelkarte, das ist die Wandrollen, Foto von Elise, gar nicht. Iris' Hood, Weather Data, Shichi, Shito, Victim Staff, Elise's autopsy report, Iris' testimony, tracks that night, courtyard. I don't know. Das hier? Ne, offenbar nicht. Is that right? When you said there was another me, I was kind of expecting someone who looked like... Oh. Okay. Ich glaube, ich weiß schon. I don't mean to be incorporative, but you seriously trying to suggest there's more than one of me? Then show me the evidence. Show me something that proves there's more than one of me. Okay, ich weiß doch nicht. Ha? Da breche ich jetzt erstmal ab. Kann ich hier nochmal weg? Inner Temple Gate. I'm finally getting to the bottom of this case. I can count on Iris to break those locks, so I should try to gather more clues. From Sister Bikini, Edgeworth, Gumshoe. And Pearls. Okay, ich dachte, wir wären jetzt nur noch auf dieses eine Zimmer da begrenzt, aber dann muss ich wahrscheinlich doch nochmal irgendwas dazu finden. The cops are still combing the place. They look pretty nervous. I'd be nervous too. It's got to be a tough job. Oh, hello. Especially with someone giving you the evil eye the whole time. How could I have done that? Wow, can't believe it's still bothering him. Edgeworth? Wah! Hey, don't you dare run away. What do you want, right? What do you want? If you came here to laugh at me, then get on with it. Go on, laugh away. I was ready to hug it out with him, but he's just the same prideful Edgeworth. You went back to the Criminal Affairs Department, right? You said you wanted to look into something concerning Iris. Yes. And thanks to what I found, I was reminded of something terrible. Ah, dann sind wir bestimmt hier jetzt richtig. Okay, erstmal die investigation. You guys are putting a lot of effort into the investigation of the garden here, huh? There's a high chance this is the actual scene of the crime. That's why. You mean because of the writing in blood and the talisman in the snow? Exactly. As you know, those things couldn't have been planted here after the murder. But surely, you don't suspect Maya, do you? We have to treat everyone as a suspect, Maya as well as Iris. It's our job, right? Okay, earthquakes. So, I guess you still haven't gotten over your fear of earthquakes. No, though thankfully my nightmares have stopped. But still, if the ground gives even the slightest tremor, I find myself short of breath. 17 years ago, when we were little school kids, at the same elementary school, Edgeworth found himself in the middle of a murder. Ja, das. It all started with that big quake that hit the courthouse. Yes, I was stuck in the elevator with my father, who was a defense attorney. We were deprived of oxygen and we passed out. That's when it happened. That single gunshot shattered my whole life. Wir wissen ja jetzt, wer den abgefeuert hat. Den Schuss. I lost everything that day, all because of that earthquake. Ja, ich weiß nicht, because of that earthquake. Wenn es das Erdbeben nicht gegeben hätte, hätte eine gewisse Person bestimmt eine andere Möglichkeit gefunden, da sich die Hände schmutzig zu machen. My dreams, my family and myself. It's been more than 17 years now, and that case was finally resolved 2 years ago, right? You think I don't know that? I was there, but it was such a shock. I never imagined I could be so wrong about myself and my life. I'm sorry, right? There's nothing else I can say. Not after you chose to become a lawyer for my sake, and not after you saved me. Edgeworth, you're stronger than you think, so no more of this self-pity, okay? Okay, was zu Iris bitte. There was something that bothered me about her from the moment we met. I felt like I'd seen her somewhere before. No, wait. Not somewhere. I felt like I'd seen her in court before. So you went back to the Criminal Affairs Department to look for her file? Yes, I checked over every case file I've ever worked on, and I was right. I had seen her face before, 6 years ago. 6 years ago? It was my first appearance in court, and as cases go, it was my worst nightmare. So, who is she? I'm sorry, Wright. I can't give that information away to a member of the general public. What? Why not? It might be the crucial piece of the puzzle that solved this case. The woman I knew was the daughter of a jewelry store owner. She had nothing to do with Iris and Hazakura Temple, but neither did the case. No, that woman is completely unrelated to this murder. Unrelated? Yes, I can say that with complete confidence. You're wrong, Edgeworth. She's totally related to this case. Würde ich jetzt aber auch mal vermuten. I need to fill Edgeworth in. I need to explain the connection between Iris and the woman Edgeworth knew. Ja, und wie? Wir arbeiten doch selber noch daran. Apparently Iris was taken in by the sisters here at the temple when she was a child. However, we still don't know much about her past, so we're looking into it. That reminds me. Edgeworth went back to the Criminal Affairs Department to look up some stuff on her. Ja, habe ich ja schon. Das hatte ich doch schon. I should ask him what he's found. Okay, das hat also nichts Neues gegeben. Gucken wir zu ihr. It's been more than a year since I last saw Franziska myself, but it seems that she's been dying to see you again. She really said that. I believe she wants to eat you for breakfast, or to put it another way, whip you silly. Literally and metaphorically. Oh. Go on, let her have her way. It would make for a great anecdote about my trip. Forget it, Edgeworth. Okay, das sieht jetzt aber nicht so aus, als ob wir hier gerade noch was Sinnvolles kriegen. Wobei, wir können mal die neuen Sachen noch präsentieren. What do you think about this, Edgeworth? Sorry, Wright. You're a defense attorney, and I'm a prosecutor. It wouldn't be right for us to discuss things so intimately. But you were acting for the defense in the trial today. Okay, ich schätze, dann kann ich ihm mit Sachen zeigen und er... Ah. Sagt so nicht irgendwas? Oh, doch. Get that piece out of my face oder so? Hab ich jetzt gerade nicht genau mitbekommen. You're still mad, huh, Edgeworth? I know a thing or two about Larry Botts, just like you. We both know he likes to act up at this. Even he couldn't make something like this up. If this is what he drew, then this is what he saw. As unbelievable as it may seem. I know, that's what I think too. Every single time I see that guy, he's in it up to his neck. I knew it. Edgeworth is still mad as a hornet at Larry. Yeah, can't blame him. Okay, dann hat er ja doch noch was zu sagen zu den ein oder anderen Sachen. Da muss ich aufpassen, dass ich den Text nicht zu schnell wegscrolle. Okay, da nichts, auch nichts. Gut, ich glaube, das sind jetzt aber auch alles Sachen, die wir ihm schon früher hätten zeigen können. Guck zur Sicherheit nochmal alles durch. Geht ja ganz schnell. Oh. Was war das? It really works. It helped my fever go down quicker, I'm sure of it. So you say, but your face is as white as a sheet, and sweat is running down your cheek. Anyway, it seems to me like there's something going on between the two of you. Actually, I don't know exactly why, but there's something about Iris that just tugs at me. I can't figure out whether I feel like I know her or don't know her at all. It's really weird. Was hat er da am Anfang zugesagt? Iris gave that to you, didn't she? Ah, okay. Another victim we know nothing about, same as always. I hope you'll tell me if you know something about our mystery woman, right? Ja, das ist Misty Faye, haben wir rausgefunden. I know that at least Junim was no ordinary visitor to the temple, but her true identity could be a useful weapon for the defense, and I can't give that away just like that. Okay, sorry, Edgeworth. Dazu gibt's nichts. Dazu gibt's nichts. Auch nix. Gut. Hat dazu noch was zu sagen? It's not your turn, it's badge. Interesting. I never imagined I'd ever see you wearing one of these, right? It's because of you that I became one Edgeworth. Not that I have any regrets, I really don't. If you're trying to say thanks, you can start by saying it a bit louder. Nein, ich wollte Ihnen das nicht nochmal zeigen. Was ist dazu zu sagen? Apparently he had become something of an apprentice to Elise Dunham. Yes, something like that. He did this portrait for me earlier. That's great. Let's just leave it at that about Larry, alright? Looks like someone's still mad at the Butts for his performance at court today. Wie ich schon sagte, can't blame him. Muss ich hier noch irgendwas untersuchen? Ich glaube nicht, oder? There's a charm or something poking out from the snow. It looks pretty old, they still let the cord tied to it too. It belonged to the victim. I'm sure of that now. It's going in the evidence room once the investigation is over, so hands off, right? You don't need to tell me that. Well, our dear friend Larry just tried to steal it when no one was looking. He probably just wanted something to remember his esteemed teacher by. Man, Larry, irgendwann landest du noch im Knast. These are torches of the naked flame variety. I guess you need all the light you can get up here in the mountains. Accordingly to Detective Gumshoe, they were lit on the night of the murder. Well, Maya was training up here, so there's nothing strange about that. Except, apparently they don't light these torches for training sessions. Huh? I heard that too much light isn't conducive to spiritual training. Oh, I didn't know that. I suppose you've noticed that Maya's name is written on this lantern. It's pretty hard to miss, you know. It's written in Miss Dunham's blood. She was probably forced up against the lantern by the killer. Aber warum den Kopf über? Then with her back against the lantern, obwohl wenn du... achso, nee, wenn du mit dem Rücken da stehst und dann mit dem Zeigefinger schreibst, dann ist es natürlich kopfüber. Da muss man gar nicht kopfüber da runterhängen. Soweit habe ich gar nicht gedacht. With her back against the lantern, she wrote that name with her finger. That's why it's written upside down. You think the victim wrote this herself? Isn't that the obvious conclusion? But why would she write Maya's name? I don't think that's something I want to discuss with you. Ach, da war ja der Schnee geschmolzen. Why is this the only area with no snow? Someone must have cleared it away. What other explanation is there? Of course, I played the what-if game as well. But when I asked our trusty bungalow Detective Gumshoe, he said it wasn't him. I suppose Edgeworth has a point. Whoever cleared the snow away must have had a reason to do so. I just can't imagine what that reason could be. A little lantern, a little statue. It's small, but the whole place is incredibly well kept. There's just one thing that's troubling me. Everything else is covered in snow or frozen over, but the ice in this bowl has been broken by someone. Oh, das war doch Gumshoe, der sein Gesicht da reingeschlagen hat. Maybe one of the detectives washed their face in it or something. Don't be ridiculous, right? No detective would be that careless at a crime scene. He's really angry. I better not say it was Gumshoe or his salary is gonna pay. Kann Gumshoe überhaupt noch weniger verdienen? Bitte, bitte. Oh, ich kann sogar noch hier hin. It's weird that there's no one around all of a sudden. It sure gets quiet up here in the mountains when you're all on your own. Demnächst muss Gumshoe selbst was einzahlen. Ich habe mich auch schon gefragt, wie viel wollen sie ihm denn noch kürzen? Speaking of alone, I guess I should go check out the shack just down this path. Oh, bitte nicht. Maybe I'll find Larry there sulking again. Na gut. Oh, Mr. Nick. Ah, puh, it's nicht Larry. Pearls, what are you doing here?
Nothing. What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright?
Well, we don't know yet.
Oh, I see.
Hey, what do you think you're doing here, Nick? Oh, nein, er ist ja doch da. Larry, this is the loser's shack. Real losers get together to lose themselves. This is the what? Hey, we find comfort in each other's feelings, okay? You got a problem with that? Du bist jetzt aber hoffentlich nicht dabei, Pearls anzubaggern. Das wäre echt, selbst für dich, unglaublich creepy.
Look, Mr. Nick, Mr. Lawrence did a picture of me.
That's great, Pearls. going to gather firewood now. We'll be cooking some hot rotten potatoes over a miserable little campfire. So stay out of our way.
I don't believe this. Why can't he try getting fired up over becoming a better man?
No one believes a word I say anymore. Listen to me, Pearl. You don't want to trust this kind of guy, okay? He'll only let you down.
Oh, Mystic Maya.
Okay, was ist mit Laurie's sketch? Larry, is there something you want to tell me about this picture?
I've got nothing to say to you, Nick. My life's here now with Pearl. Two losers cooking potatoes together forevermore.
What am I going to do with him? Alright then, what do you think about this picture, Pearls?
I think it's really well drawn. I can't draw at all, so I think it's really amazing.
See, someone appreciates it. It's tough getting the flames to look like that, you know.
It's supposed to be Sister Iris flying through the air, isn't it? I love it. It's like a dream, a wonderful fantasy.
No, it wasn't a dream. She really flew, I'm telling you, Iris really flew that night.
But Mr. Lawrence...
Not you too. Please don't look at me like that, Pearl. Don't look at me like I'm some kind of nutcase, I beg of you.
I guess this picture really is a representation of what Larry thinks he saw.
Okay, so I was half asleep when I was here that night. But I was wide awake after the lightning struck, and I saw what I saw. It was exactly like I drew in the picture.
And it looks like I don't have any choice but to take this sketch at face value.
Hey, what's with the look of doubt on your face?
Okay, night of the crime. Pearls?
Yes, Mr. Nick?
Mir ist irgendwie noch nie aufgefallen, dass sie schwarze Augen hat. Fast wie in Umineko als, jetzt vergesse ich schon die Namen. Dingsbums, Jessica in den Mördermodus wechselte und voll brutal abging, hatte die plötzlich schwarze Augen. Hatte Pearls schon immer schwarze Augen? Wow.
Yes, Mr. Nick?
I've been meaning to ask you about the night of the murder, actually. Jetzt rennt sie weg. Where were you, and what exactly were you doing when it all happened?
I was just, well, I'm just a kid, you know. I'm sure it doesn't really matter what I was doing, does it, Mr. Nick?
Sorry, Pearls, but yes, it does. On the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Miss Dunham's room, reading a book together, but Miss Dunham was murdered, and you, Pearls, were at the inner temple. Just what exactly happened that night, Pearls?
I'm really sorry, Mr. Nick.
Oh, really? Really now? Good fucking... fünf.
I've been a bad girl.
You're too young to be saying that.
That's why I'm being punished.
What are you talking about, Pearls?
My spiritual power. It has disappeared.
Huh? Oh, das ist nicht gut. What? Our powers have disappeared? Lost powers. What do you mean your power has disappeared, Pearls?
It's all over for me. A spirit medium who can't channel spirits is like a painter who can't paint.
Hey, what are you looking at me for?
Oh, nothing. Pearls, did you try to channel someone's spirit right here at Hazakura Temple? Tried but failed, perhaps?
Way to go, Nick. You made her cry. That was really cool of you.
Just as I thought. I'm going to have to break her sight locks to get the truth out of her. Ja, aber 5 Stück? Ich kann mir fast nicht vorstellen, dass wir das schon... Oh, können wir überhaupt noch irgendwo anders hin? Oh, tatsächlich. Ich gehe nochmal zum Main Hall, gucke, ob ich hier noch irgendwas rausfinden kann. I wonder if Sister Bikini's back at the main hall yet. I haven't seen Gumshoe around for a while either. Maybe they're having a cup of tea together somewhere. I bet Gumshoe is Sister Bikini's type. Ja, kann sein. I wonder what this thing was used for on the night of the murder. There's only one key to the snowmobile, and Iris is the one who had it. So I have to wonder if it was her. But she says she never left Hazakura Temple that night.
You can see the main hall from here. Sister Bikini should be back by now. We were interrupted earlier by the earthquake. I think I should go pick up our conversation where we left off. This is one impressive gate. It was used for important murder business. Yeah, it's pretty grand for something that belongs to a branch family of the clan. I bet they make an exorbitant amount of money here. I mean, that whole special course thing has got to be a good business. No, I'm starting to think like Maya. It's a quaint little bell tower. I never would have thought that something like this horrible was about to happen when Iris rang the lights out bell that night. Okay.
Well, what's the damage? How is the sacred cavern?
Ach, die hat die ganze Zeit hier gestanden und Panik gehabt, weil sie nicht mitkommen konnte, oder was? Hätte vielleicht auch mal jemand eher zu ihr gehen können und ihr sagen können, dass alles okay ist. Bis auf die 4 neuen Schlösser. It looks like it survived, but we have a bigger problem now. I told Sister Bikini all about it. About the 5 locks that were stopping us from getting inside the sacred cavern.
But who could have done that? The only people who know how to set those trick locks are those of the Kurain tradition.
We have Iris at the sacred cavern trying her best to open them for us right now. Actually, there's something I've been meaning to talk with you about, Sister Bikini.
Oh, yes. We were in the middle of a chat, weren't we?
Yes, you were telling me how the Master of Kurain disappeared 17 years ago. I want to know why Misty Faye suddenly appeared at this temple.
It was about a week ago when Mystic Mystic Misty arrived. After she showed me the talisman that proved she was the Master, she said,
"Someone is trying to destroy the Kurain tradition's main family line. I am here to put a stop to them." Someone was trying to destroy the main family line?
There's only one heir to the title of Master at any time, and it's usually the eldest. The child becomes the new Master of Kurain, and her daughter's the main family. All other mediums become branch family members with no hope of controlling the clan. That's why nothing has changed throughout the history of the clan. Branch families always have and always will plot to erase those of the main family line.
Vielleicht sollten die dann irgendwie mal über ein neues System nachdenken, wo sich nicht alle hassen und betrügen wollen. Kann man nicht mal ein bisschen noch von unten machen. Is the power of the Master worth this much bloodshed? Kurain channeling technique. Ähnlich super Familienklima wie bei den Ushido-Miyas. Ja, ich glaube auch. Familientreffen müssen toll sein.
You believe in the technique, don't you, Mr. Wright? You know its power is real.
Hat mir ja schon einige Mal den Arsch gerettet, also ja. Yes, I do. It's been 2 years since I first met Maya. In that time, I've seen her channel the spirits of the dead plenty of times. During the Mas de Masqua case. And during Maggie Bird's trial, too. Thanks to Maya, Mia is always on hand to help me out when I need her the most.
The Kurain technique has made a huge difference to the world, you know. I mean, the ability to commune with the dead, that's true psychic power, you know. Members of the tradition have always been there behind every important leader. Who wouldn't respect such a tremendous skill?
I suppose so, but with all that power and influence, I kind of expected you'd be really rich by now.
Are you saying we're poor, Mr. Wright? Huh, you're very direct, aren't you? People don't believe in it anymore, you see, all because of one little mistake.
A mistake? What mistake? I meant Misty, in Teil 1.
It was 17 years ago. That's when everything came crashing down. All because of that incident.
That incident? Is she talking about what I think she is? DL17 oder wie hieß der nochmal? DL6? Ich weiß gar nicht mehr.
I'm sure the record still exists if you're interested. Locked up, of course. It was called the DL6 incident.
Okay, 6.
That's the name of the fire.
The DL6 incident, I knew it. Das wird jetzt wahrscheinlich alles hier nochmal kurz erklärt, weil es ja auch Leute geben könnte, die den dritten Teil spielen, ohne den ersten und zweiten gespielt zu haben. Keine Ahnung, warum man sowas machen sollte, aber ist halt ist ja oft so in so Spielen, die auf vorherigen Geschichten aufbauen, dass die immer so eine Art Fail-Safe oder wie auch immer ich das jetzt nennen soll, drin haben, dass auch Leute, die aus irgendeinem Grund mitten in der Reihe anfangen, irgendwo mal eine kurze Zusammenfassung kriegen, um das trotzdem spielen zu können und alles zu verstehen. Ich vermute mal, deswegen sind hier immer so ab und zu so Sachen eingestreut, wie zum Beispiel auch die kurze Erklärung nochmal, dass Edgeworth halt Angst vor Erdbeben hat und sowas. The DL6 Incident. I know it well. Es ist aber auch ganz gut als ein Refresher sozusagen, auch für uns, die wir das eigentlich kennen sollten, weil es ja jetzt schon echt lange her ist. Es ist eigentlich auch ganz gut, dass man da nochmal so eine kurze Erinnerung und Zusammenfassung kriegt. Also ich wollte das jetzt nicht wirklich hier voll dissen. I handled a related case just 2 years ago.
Ah, that's right. So it was you who was the defense attorney on that case.
A murder that took place 17 years ago.
It was the first time in the country's history the police ever used a spirit medium. The idea was to channel the victim's spirit to learn the identity of the murderer.
And the medium who performed the channeling was Misty Faye, Maya's mother.
Through Mystic Misty's channeling, the name of a certain man surfaced. Armed with that as evidence, the investigators were spurred into action.
But that man, he was found not guilty, wasn't he?
That's right, he was. And the case remained a mystery. In other words, we failed. It was the first case the world had ever seen the Kulain tradition openly involved in.
Ja, das ist natürlich toll, wenn er dann direkt komplett nach hinten losgeht.
It was all over the media, the public, the
Judiciary? Judiciary, wahrscheinlich.
The people of Kulain Village.
Moment mal, jetzt bin ich ja neugierig. Ist ja gut, dass es hier sowas gibt.
Judiciary.
Oh, Judiciary, okay, das I muss offenbar auch noch weg. Ja klar, hier. Ich möchte nie einen Engländer hören, der sich über französische Aussprache lustig macht, weil Englisch ist noch viel schlimmer. Das hat ja seine Wörter aus dem Lateinischen, dem Französischen, dem Germanischen genommen, also von überall her. Und im Französischen gibt es, soweit ich weiß, wenigstens gewisse feste Regeln. Im Englischen ist halt alles ein riesiges Chaos, weil das von so vielen verschiedenen Ursprüngen kam und so viele verschiedene Richtungen genommen haben, verschiedene Wörter, verschiedene Richtungen genommen haben, wie sie ausgesprochen oder geschrieben wurden. Denn ich hatte das alles mal in der Uni gehabt, in der Anglistik, das war ziemlich interessant eigentlich. Da gab es dann zum Beispiel halt auch damals einmal die Strömungen, die wollten, dass alles etymologisch geschrieben wird und deswegen auch darauf bestanden, dass Wörter Buchstaben enthalten, die gar nicht mit ausgesprochen wurden. Und dann gab es aber auch Strömungen, die total dagegen waren und wollten, dass Wörter so geschrieben werden, wie sie ausgesprochen werden. Und keine von denen hat wirklich verloren. Die haben sich halt beide hier und da durchgesetzt. Deswegen gibt es dann auch wieder Wörter, die eben so geschrieben werden, wie sie ausgesprochen werden und Wörter, die nicht so geschrieben werden, wie sie ausgesprochen werden im Englischen. Dann eben noch das ganze Trara von wegen hier Wörter aus dem Lateinischen, hier Wörter aus dem Französischen und so weiter. Also deswegen ist es ein einziges Chaos, was die ganzen Wörter im Englischen angeht und wie die alle ausgesprochen werden. Mal ist A-U-G-H ein A, mal ist es ein O und was nicht noch alles. Anyway.
It was all over the media, the public, the judiciary, the people of Kulain Village. Everyone judged her. Everyone said Misty's powers were a sham.
Das war jetzt übrigens gerade nur noch so vage aus meinen Erinnerungen zusammengekratzt. Wenn irgendjemand dieses Video sieht und sich besser auskennt, kann er mich da gerne nochmal korrigieren.
And then she just disappeared, vanished while everyone still thought of her as a fraud.
But I know the truth. Misty Faye's spirit channeling wasn't a sham at all.
Of course it wasn't. And since you managed to reveal the truth, we're finally making a comeback. The Kulain tradition is starting to recover at last, but with a new master wielding the power of the clan.
Does she mean Maya? Das passt zum Sprachthema super, muss ich eben gucken. Das ist gut. Okay, Family Feud now. Ja, sehr guter Comic.
The spiritual power of the Kurain channeling technique is in the blood.
Maya has told me the exact same thing before.
Ui.
Du wusstest, welche das war, bevor du es geklickt hast. Ja, die Ex-KCD-Comics sind auch sind echt viele gute dabei. Ich weiß gar nicht, wie man das aussprechen soll. Ex-KCD oder ist da irgendwie eine andere Aussprache gewünscht? Hab ich noch nie drüber nachgedacht.
We, the women of the fake line, have always been spirit mediums. It's because the power to communicate with spirits flows strongly through us.
According to Maya, only the women in the family can inherit that power.
The maid family's bloodline stems directly from Mystic Amy. But with each new generation, only one daughter becomes the new master.
And the ones who don't become branch families, right?
That is right, and it's always the cause of tragedy.
You know, Maya had a sister too, an older sister named Mia.
Oh yes, I've heard of her.
What? You know about Mia?
Of course. She became a lawyer in the hopes of discovering what happened to her mother.
And lost her life as a result. Was irgendwie immer noch, was Godot ja komischerweise Phoenix in die Schuhe schiebt, was irgendwie nicht so richtig verstehen kann. Branch Families, ja, das wurde doch vorhin schon erwähnt, oder? Mit den Branch Families.
Do you know what Mystic Mia is rumored to have said? She said it wasn't only because of her mother that she became a lawyer. She also didn't want to fight with her sister over the leadership of the tradition.
Really?
Well, she saw what happened to her own mother, Mystic Misty, as she grew up. I guess Mystic Mia got tired of seeing all the rivalry between her mom and her aunt.
That's right, Misty Faye had an elder sister too. And Misty, having superior powers, managed to usurp the master's seat from her.
Mystic Misty's sister is Mystic Morgan, as you probably know.
Ja, die haben wir hinter Gittern gebracht. Morgan? That's a name I know well. And tight smile. It was a year ago now at Maya's home, Kurain village. What she did was terrible. It was all so she could make her own daughter the next master.
I suppose if you know about Mystic Morgan's daughter, then you must have already realized that Iris...
Huh? Iris? Well, what does Iris got to do with any of this?
That Iris is...
What? What? I'm sorry, what? But about pearls? About... Okay. Jetzt...
That Iris is Mystic Morgan's daughter.
Iris is what? She kidding me? Iris is Morgan Faye's daughter? Okay. Did you just say that Iris is Morgan Faye's daughter?
Oh, I thought you already knew.
Wie soll ich das denn wissen?
It sounded like you'd met one of Mystic Morgan's daughters already.
I have. I know her very well.
Oh?
Yes, Pearls. Pearl Faye. But I always thought she was an only child.
You jest. That child. She's Mystic Morgan's. I had no idea.
Hat Mystic Morgan sich einfach so durch die Betten gevögelt und unzählige verschiedene Kinder?
Mystic Morgan. But she's in prison now, isn't she?
Yes, ever since she was found to be a co-conspirator in a murder case last year. Mystic Morgan got around. Ich dachte auch, dass Pearls ihre einzige Tochter war. It was all done to set Pearls up as the next master.
I see. So I've been wrong all this time. Mystic Morgan had 3 daughters, not 2.
Wait, what? 3?
Yes, Iris, her twin sister.
Oh, and Iris?
Her twin sister, and Mystic Pearl.
What? Twin sister?
Oh, didn't you know? It all happened 20 years ago. After the clan leadership was taken from her by her sister, Mystic Morgan's life crumbled. It wasn't many years later that Kurai's reputation hit an all-time low. When Mystic Morgan's husband realized his wife would never become the master, he left her in the village, taking their twin daughters with him.
Oh. How awful.
He was a jeweler, you know. In the end, he remarried, and that's when it happened. He decided to give one of his girls up to be looked after by us here at the temple. That was Iris, you see.
That's unbelievable. If Iris has a twin sister. Could it be? Could you tell me one more thing, Sister Bikini? What was the name of Iris's twin sister?
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I just can't remember. All I can recall is that her father was a jeweler.
Being bestimmt Dion. Well, that's a clue, I guess. A jeweler. Thank you very much. You've helped clear up a lot of details. Pearl had 2 older sisters, huh?
Yes, that's right. No doubt it was all because of Mystic Morgan's anger towards the main family.
Anger? What do you mean?
Her twin daughters were taken from her by her jeweler husband, but even that couldn't destroy her dream that a child of hers would one day lead the clan.
That's why she had pearls.
It seems that the incident here was a result of Mystic Morgan's anger. She was able to break free of the bars that confine her.
So Iris has a twin sister. The plot thickens. Sukitan. But this information will be useless unless I can flesh it out a bit. I need to ask more questions and get some more info. Kann ich hier nochmal direkt die präsentieren?
Iris had a twin sister. That's really all I know about her. That and the fact that she was taken away from her mother by her jeweler father. I don't have any idea where she is or what she's doing now.
Could tell her, but she'd probably have a rotary and a half. Ja, ist ein bisschen uncanny, so wie die Twin Sister selber auch.
When I think about it, I do kind of feel sorry for Mystic Morgan. It wasn't her fault that her sister was a more powerful spirit medium. Mystic Morgan just couldn't compete with her sister. It must have been really tough on her.
Even so, that doesn't excuse all the things she did.
No, of course not. You must be very happy to have such a fine mentor.
A mentor? No, he's just a friend.
Ah, you naughty devil. Always the joker, aren't you? Ho, ho, ho. Ah, he seemed like a lovely young man, like the kind you can always count on.
Yeah, it's kind of depressing how much faith she has in him. Okay, ich glaube, das reicht erstmal hier. Gehen wir erstmal... Oder hast du jetzt noch ein neues Thema? Nein. Oh, hier könnte ich auch noch reden. Vielleicht ist Gumshoe hier.